Welcome to Greggles TV. The TV behind me is 98 inches. It is the new TCL QM7, and it's a mini LED TV, and I'm gonna go through a bunch of tips and tricks about this television. It looks great, by the way. Really, really nice looking TV. So without further ado, let's get to the tips and tricks. This is a bit of a weird way to start off, but this is an LED backlit remote, so it does backlight in the dark if you needed to, if you can't see the remote. So it is fantastic. So if you didn't know, now you know. And speaking of the remote is really easy to use. Basically, you can change your profiles up here with this button right here. It's a little person. You can tap it and you can choose between your different profiles if you want. You have your button right here to use it to talk to Google Assistant. What was the score of the Celtics game? And the Celtics game was a bit ago, but it's gonna show us the score of the Celtics game in just a moment here. And there you go. You can ask it questions, control your smart home, stuff like that. You have your settings button right here. This will go directly into settings. Well, kind of. It brings you to where you would select all settings up there, and that would bring you there. The home button is what I keep hitting to go back. It'll bring you to this page right here, which is the For You. This is your back button, so no matter what you're in, if I go into YouTube, it's gonna go into this. I can hit the back button and it will go back. This button right here allows you to bring up any live TV if you have antenna or cable or anything like that. Volume up and down, and then this will allow you to change your channels. This button is your mute. This button right here with the 3 lines on it, if you press that, that brings up a little quick settings menu for the brightness on the television. You can change your picture mode, your picture settings, sound mode, audio settings, sleep timers, energy savings, all that stuff. At the bottom of the remote, you have shortcuts for Netflix, YouTube, TCL TV, Prime Video, Pluto TV, YouTube TV. If you press it, it'll go directly into the app. So if I press YouTube, it automatically goes into the YouTube app. The button at the top left here allows you to change to your different sources. So I can go to AirPlay, Antenna TV, or my Sonos. I don't have anything else on, so that's why it's not showing my PlayStation or my Xbox, but if I did, those would also show up here. This runs Google TV. The For You is kind of basically just your main homepage, and you see all your apps on here that you have installed. If you wanna move one of these apps over to the left or to the right, all you gotta do is just press and hold on it, and then you can do move, for instance, and I can move it. And when I'm done, I can just hit the select button on the remote, which is right here, the OK button. And I'm done right there. And I can continue doing that now. So maybe I want like free channels. I'm like, you know what, I don't need that so far over. I'm gonna push that all the way over here. And I'm gonna press OK again on the remote. And I can continue doing that until I'm done. Once I'm done, all I'm gonna do is press down to where it says done, and hit done, and then I'm good at that point. If you wanna quickly uninstall an app such as Tubi right here, I can long press it and then go down to view details. It brings me into this page, and this is where I can read about the app, or I can also just click uninstall, and I'm just hitting the OK button on the remote, and it will get rid of the app. I'm gonna hit home to go back. You can also quickly reorder just by selecting OK here and choosing an app and removing it and moving it to the left or right. You can also quickly reorder just by going to the last, over to the right here. You can select OK on reorder and then just choose the app you want. I'm gonna choose this with the OK button on the remote and then go like this and then hit OK again. Some apps you cannot uninstall, FYI, like I cannot uninstall works with Alexa. So if I go to this one, just to show you in case you're curious why I can't do that, you can see I can either move it or open it, and that's it. You can also add apps all the way over to the right. I can tap that and it brings me to the App Store for Android or Google, whatever you wanna call it. And these are all the apps I have installed. Otherwise, I can go down here and choose from different apps. You'll see apps I have installed on other devices. Otherwise, I can choose an app, like for instance, I'm right here, like maybe I wanna install YouTube Kids. I'll just tap on it and then hit install. On this For You, it's gonna show you stuff you've been watching. It's gonna show you stuff that's free live and stuff. You're gonna see top selling movies, popular movies and shows, jump shots, live game show channels. You can select from a plethora of different categories. You've got recommended videos to watch. You've got your Howl's Moving Castle, whatever that is, some kind of anime thing. So different things that thinks you're gonna be interested in. Up at the top, you can go to live TV. This is gonna show you all kinds of live TV, and whatever apps you have for live TV will show up in here, or you can just watch the Google TV live channels. You can see what's popular for that stuff, movies, and it works just like any other kind of live TV you've seen from cable or some other app. It's basically the same stuff. So it's kind of cool if you have a live TV service, it'll show up, it should show up in here. Next is apps. We were kind of just here. You can browse for apps like we just were doing, or you can search for them. And you can search by typing it in right here, or you can use your voice if you want, just by pressing and holding the microphone on here at the top of the controller. Here's your library at the top. This is gonna show everything that you actually own, that you've purchased from like Google TV. And then you have a TCL bar here. This is gonna be all kinds of free content to watch on here that is TCL. So anything you really wanna watch that's on here is gonna be on here free with ads. But hey, it's free and you get a ton of stuff to watch, a lot of cool stuff. In the very top left, I can go over here and I can switch accounts this way as well, just by hitting select, choosing the account I want, or I can add an account, and I can also manage accounts if I want to remove an account. Going all the way over to the top right, you'll see a search. You can search for anything from movies, TV shows, apps, and more. You can do all kinds of stuff. As you can see, it gives you some suggestions right here from what's the latest news, show me yoga videos, who won best actress, sing me a song, all kinds of things that Google can do. It'll show it and do it right here. You can look and browse for certain things to watch as well. If you go all the way over to the right, you'll see settings, and you have your screensaver. If you tap on this, you can set a screensaver, and it just shows like different photos. You can press to the right on your directional pad on your remote to see different photos. There we go. It's gonna bring up my Google Photos. So kind of cool stuff right there. Next, under settings, you have inputs, which is just gonna kind of show you what I did on the remote earlier. This is the inputs button in the top left. This does the same thing. You have picture. This is gonna bring up your picture settings that you can mess with. And whatever setting you like, I'd probably apply it for all inputs, and we'll get to that in just a moment. You also have your ability to change your Wi-Fi really quickly by tapping there, and accessibility settings. So in the top right, let's go to all settings. And channels and inputs. Channels, you can go through channel scan. So this is great if you have an antenna. You can do channel scan and it'll search automatically for any channels that it can pick up. You can edit those channels, and you can also clear the channel list. External inputs. You see I have all these on here. So the first one, external devices control CEC. I would recommend having all these on. The reason being is when you have HDMI control, power on the TV and sync, device standby and sync, if you have all these on, like for instance, if you have a PlayStation 5 or a Xbox or pretty much anything that can do HDMI CEC, it will automatically turn on the TV and turn the TV off when you turn those devices off. It makes your life a lot easier and more comfortable rather than looking for the remote. I know sometimes I just want to play video games, so I grab my controller and it will automatically turn my television on and turn it off when I'm done playing, when I turn the system off or put it into standby mode. Also, you have all your HDMI settings here, which allow you to be able to control and rename these. So for instance, this one, HDMI 1, is just named HDMI 1, but if I wanted to, I could choose something else for it. I can even do a custom name and call it PS5 if I wanted to. And you can do that with any of these HDMI ports so that you know better. But if you plug it in, generally it knows what it is. So it makes your life a little bit easier. Like even though my PlayStation 5 is off, it still knows it's a PlayStation 5 automatically. Next, under settings, we have display and sound. If you go into picture, this is where you can change your picture settings. You can even go into advanced settings and mess with a lot of things in here with tons of different things that you might want to change. You've got your color settings. You can change the color temperature, clarity, if you want it to be more sharp or less sharp, mess with the digital noise reduction, Noise reduction set it to auto. So all this stuff, it's tons of control in here for everything from motion to colors to clarity and basically everything else in between. It's really, really impressive. And you can apply it all to all of these if you want, or just the current input when you do these settings, or you can restore everything back to default. Adjust the settings aspect ratio. You might, I set it to auto detect and it's set to that automatically, but you might want to change that. Aspect ratio, you can change that. You can also do overscan, but it's basically just to make sure everything works. Auto detect has worked for me all the time, so I really wouldn't worry about it. Audio, you have the ability to experience different sound effects. So if you go into sound mode, I have it set to dynamic. You can do a surround virtualizer, virtually produce surround sound, or increase your bass or your dialogue enhancer. This one's cool if they'll say the music's too loud and you can't hear the voices as good. If you turn this on and set it to high or low or medium, it'll make the voice stand out more versus the background sounds and the music and stuff like that. It comes out pretty cool. If you're having issues with the audio delay, meaning what you hear versus what you're seeing on the television, this is where you mess with that. You have your audio processing. I set it to auto, but you can have different ones. It should choose it correctly, but if it doesn't, you can set it to Dolby Atmos or DTS Virtual X or keep it off. You can also go into advanced settings and set an equalizer if you want, or audio, turn off the TV screen for an audio only experience if you want. You can change the balance of the sound from left to right. Auto volume control experience, audio for a more relaxed experience. Digital audio out, I have it set to audio, but you can change it to PCM or pass through. DTS DRC reduces background noise in audio to make the sound clearer. Audio output, I set it to auto, but like for instance, I have my Sonos soundbar set up on here. I could just set it to ARC and it would automatically always go to ARC, but you know, maybe audio, again, auto is generally very good about selecting the correct sound output for me, but you can choose from a bunch of different ones, from Bluetooth to optical to an external subwoofer, headphones. Intelligent settings. This is where you can get your intelligent picture settings. And I turn this stuff off, adaptive brightness. I don't want it to get darker or brighter. For me, I just keep it at 100% brightness all the time. But if you want, I think by default this is on, and this is where you would change it. But you know, it's up to you how you want to have that. And then adaptive content, adjust picture settings based on content format and image. You can keep that on if you want. These are basically auto settings, so if you keep it on, it's going to adapt automatically. The color temperature as well. Same thing with sound. You can have adaptive volume, which I don't love having, so I just keep it the way I want it. Adaptive content, AI sonic adaptation reduces undesirable reflected sounds, and you can have all that stuff on if you want. Network and internet is going to be where you can turn on and off Wi-Fi. You can also add networks or scanning always available. You can see you connect via Ethernet if you want to, but I don't have it connected. So, but if you could, if you wanted to, all kinds of different, you can even check your internet connection. If you do that, it's just gonna check to see if you have internet. I don't think it does a speed test of what you're getting, but it will. So you can see connected to intranet successfully, connected to internet, network normal. This is where you can sign in more accounts or add a kit account. Next is apps. And you can come in here and see any and all apps that you have. And when you do see all apps, you can actually uninstall them here too, or force close them. So if you're having an issue with an app, for instance, say like Disney's giving you some problems, click into this, and again, maybe every time you open it crashes, or every time you open it, it won't play any sound, just some weird issue. If you come in here and you go to where it says clear data, it will clear out the app and close it. You will have to sign in, but it will clear it out, and then it should fix the app for you. Next is system. You can see you have accessibility stuff. I won't go too much into this, but you do have accessibility settings if you need any of this stuff. About, This is where you're gonna find your system updates. Come in here, and I have it set to auto update, but you can come in here and manually check as well. You can see it would be a network update, so I'll just come in here and it's gonna automatically check for any updates that I may have, which I don't have any. You can change my device name. Right now I have it set to TCL 98. All you do is just click in there and hit change, and then I can change the name of it to pretty much anything I want. You just go to the bottom here and change it, or enter your custom name at the top. You can reset your television if you're selling it, getting rid of it or whatever. Come in here and hit reset, and then factory reset, and then go through the steps of resetting it. This is where you can see what version of Android it runs. You can change your languages. It comes with either English, French, or Spanish. Storage, it does have 52, well, it must really have like 64 gigs of storage, but you can see total space of storage that you have in here. Ambient mode, if you select this, I have it set to my Google Photos, but you can choose art gallery or experimental. You can have it decide if you want to show the weather or not. So I'm going to choose Fahrenheit. Time, you can show the time if you want of whatever time it is. Just select that, and I have it set to show. You can show personal photo data. Portrait Google Photos, you can show them in pairs, or just show or hide them, don't show them at all. Personal photo curation, you can automatically curate Google Photos. And you can change the speed of your slideshow as well. I have it set to 1 minute before it changes the photo. Power and energy is a good one. Power on behavior. This is where right when you turn your TV on, you can have it go to the last input. So for instance, if you're playing PlayStation 5, you can have it automatically go to that last input, meaning it would go to that PlayStation 5 system. Otherwise, I just have it go right to the Google TV home screen. Energy saver is a cool one. I have it turned off, but by enabling it, basically it puts those things on that you can see at the bottom right. I don't like having that, so I keep it off. Automatically turn the TV off when watching, I have it set to never. And then inactive, when the TV's not being used, just sitting there, say it's just sitting on a screen, it's gonna turn off after 20 minutes, but you can change that stuff here. Sleep timer, I have it off, but like say you wanna watch TV while you sleep, you can come in here and easily select something like maybe you want it to play for 60 minutes, and then the TV will automatically turn off. Quick start, this is a great one. I would definitely recommend that you keep both of these on. The TV just starts a lot quicker, and it keeps it connected to the network. And then also doze mode allows the TV to perform background processing and updates intermittently while in standby mode. So basically the TV will update even when it's off to you, like you don't see the screen, but it will update because it's using a little bit of power. Screenless service is a cool one. I'm gonna turn it on, but basically if you can wake the TV up when you use voice commands if you have that turned on, or streaming from mobile devices and more. Cast is gonna be if you're casting to it from like a Google device, and I have it set to while casting. System sounds, I don't like hearing the clicks and dings and stuff when I'm using the television, so I keep it off. This is where you would set up your Apple AirPlay and HomeKit stuff. You just click into this and you can set up AirPlay. AirPlay's for iPhones and iPads and the whole Mac world. You can come in here and set all of that stuff up. You can also go to parental controls where you can limit contact access and usage and set a password for stuff. Game Master is a really cool one. It provides you with low latency optimized device connections, exclusive game bar. So basically if you come in here, it will automatically come on. I have it set to auto for all of them, but it does some cool stuff behind the scenes and makes your gaming a lot cooler. You can have your standby indication bar. It turns that light on and off. You can have it from normal to flashing to off, so you don't see the bar and the lights at the bottom in the middle of the TV. Remotes. This is where you can add new remotes or accessories. So like I mentioned, under here, under the TV, is a mute button that you can press to control. You can see TV microphone is disabled. Otherwise it's enabled, and you can mute it right there if you want to. So there you go. That was the TCL QM7, the 98 edition. But basically it should be very similar to all the QM7. So amazing TV. If you're looking for a huge TV that is not that huge, if you know what I mean, like I have it on the wall and it's amazing. You got to check it out. Great looking TV. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.